Be any more correct in that statement right there. Another weekend at the British Grand Prix, another just spectacle of racing and qualifying, and just man, a track that I believe is home for most teams and the Formula One as a whole. Man, just what a great weekend, Alex. Overall, how if you had to grade it, what are you grading it?
Like a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Wow, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Well, any 5 star examples, just for us to reference?
Maybe Silverstone last year. I think that was like the closest thing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I like it.
At least
I like
personally.
it.
Yeah.
I try to like think of like how we should do the show today. We'll probably go over the qualifying, but I'm just so excited about so many things. I think that me and you texting about qualifying and me and you texting about the racing, I think you were equally as excited. So we may just spend this 45 minutes that we have here today, kind of just BSing maybe after we go over the qualifying order. Um, I know as far as practice, I don't know what you got to saw, you got to see.
I didn't see much practicing. Yeah, I just saw
Yeah, there,
Mo. I think I call it FP3. A little bit of FP3. That's about it.
yeah. Was that the rain? Was that the one where it was raining? Or was that FP
Yeah, I
two?
think it was like light rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? FP2 was Williams looked impressive. I know that. All
Okay, so yeah, then the rain
the,
came
I
in
think it
FP
was
three.
FP3. I think it was it was FP3. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Williams was good in the dry.
yeah. So Williams takes a huge leap this forward, and they was Williams like second and third, Albon, second in FP
I think
one, maybe third.
FP1. Yeah, I think FP2 they were up there too, and then FP3 is where they kind of
Yeah,
tail off. So
I
that was
actually got
because
it
of the
right in
wet.
front of me here. Yeah, Albon was third in FP one. He was third in FP two. And then final practice he was second. Um,
He was second.
so
Okay, I thought in the rain they fell. Oh, he did set a good time, but I remember everybody was starting to slow down because of the rain. I don't think people got good times in.
yeah,
If I remember
uh,
right.
Charles Leclerc missed the second practice, I believe, because of electrical issues. Um, but practice was pretty straightforward. I don't think there was any huge news coming out of there. Um, did we get to qualifying on Saturday? Man, what a good
Qual-
qualifying session.
Qualifying has been amazing overall this
Yeah,
year. I don't. I think. Yeah, I think I prefer the qualifying in every single thing, every single event this season over the race.
yeah, it's been so good. I don't know how to like if I'm trying to sell people on Formula One, it's tough. Like, you like start with the race, but you also want to be like, hey, if you want to give up part of your Saturday as well, qualifying is so exciting. But
It's
like
so
when you're
hard to sell Formula One now.
yeah, you sell like a football game. You're like, hey, sit down, watch this Steelers Panthers game. So someone comes over, they sit on your couch for 2 hours, and they watch the football game,
I feel
right?
like those
Like it
hype
is,
moments every now and then. And in
yeah,
F1, there's not. It's very far and few in between. And then on top of that, what makes like a moment hype, at least for like you or myself, or for like the average viewer who watches F1 on a daily basis, is like we know the context and the stories behind everyone, and we're not just watching the race leader; we're watching the midfield teams battle it out and
yeah.
everything in between.
Yeah, yeah, it's so like you just can't like all right, you want to come over on a Saturday. It's gonna be all this time and it'll be kind of slow, but then I guess it'll pick up and be exciting at the end. And hopefully we'll be able to talk you through it. So, but no, for the fans, I think it was exciting. Um, Man, I would like to say the first five out of Q1 is not a shocker, but we had Kevin Magnussen, Nick DeVries, Joe Guan Yu, Yuki Tsunoda, and then again Sergio Perez, 15th place. That's great. Not great form for Yuki. Nick DeVries. That's what we expect. Joe Guan Yu, 17th. K Mag just really struggling in qualifying. But what is going on with Sergio Perez in these qualifying rounds? I haven't heard anything, but this is unreal how bad this streak he's on.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And at this point, it's like I at least in the past few weeks or so, I feel like there's been like some mistakes on Red Bull ends. He's had some unfortunate luck, but this Silverstone one was completely on him. I don't know what happened. Like last week, he had in Austria, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago in Austria or whatever, he had the just went off track like everybody else was, and then like there's been some strategy problems. He's been caught in the wet. He's been caught at just bad times, and just strategies aren't lining up for him. But this week is completely on him. I don't know what happened with Checo.
Um, Our graphic designer says if we put K Mag in a Red Bull car, he would be P1. That is false. At best, he would be P2 because no one is going to be ahead of Max Verstappen right now. I'm sorry. There's just
I
no
don't know,
chance.
man. I feel like K Mag is reckless enough to take both of them out the race.
I know Ryan hasn't even seen like prime K Mag. I don't know if I would say prime as driving wise, but like like Ryan K Mag in the Haas car, he was, or he's in the Haas now, but like before he got let go, this dude would put up some crazy defenses. I don't even think he knows the story. Did he tell? He told Nico. He told his teammate to suck his balls after a race because that's how crazy he was on and off the track. So, yeah, you're right, Alex. K Mag could take both of them out. But yeah, I think it goes to put on what you're always saying too. How exciting how exciting you think qualifying it is, but how much it goes to show that these drivers need to be on the limit for one lap, and you can't make any mistake, or else with the fastest car, you're out in P15. It's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so it's almost like not a shocker. It's a shocker, not a shocker at this point. Sergio's out. We move on. We get Bottas gets disqualified for not being able to provide his fuel sample. So he's out. He starts the race last, but he made his way into Q2. That messed with that a little bit. My guy Logan Sargent, who I've been low-key rooting for on Williams. I let Alex root for Alex Albon on Williams. I've been rooting for Logan Sargent. He 14th. Esteban Ocon 13th. Lance Stroll 12th. Nico Hulkenberg 11th. And then Pierre Gasly 10th. I'd say the shocker there is Nico, right? How he is getting the most out of that car in qualifying for sure.
His one lap pace on that Haas is
Martins, the Alpines to be ahead of Nico, but he puts it in front of one Alpine, in front of one Aston Martin, and then is only a few hundredths off of Pierre in 10th. So, man, really good. All right, you're back.
John, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but anyways, as we're saying, Nico Hulkenberg's getting the most out of that. All right, our top 10, which was a very exciting qualifying. Pierre Gasly 10th, Fernando Alonso 9th, Alex Albon, man, I love it, in 8th. Lewis Hamilton 7th. It's a letdown.
Oh, wait. Before we continue, he was disappointed that he finished 8th because that pace for that Williams this weekend was insane.
You're right. I think he kind of got, I don't want to say unlucky, but like just the weather was not in that car's favor. I think when he was really popping off his good times in FP1 and FP2, the track was definitely drier. It was sunnier. Yes, they were all on slicks by the end of qualifying, but there's differences in the track. And you're right. It's funny though. He had a legit argument to be upset with P8. So.
It's crazy, but yeah. So
that's
P7
good.
Lewis.
Yeah, P6 George. It's funny to see you get to 6-7 is Mercedes. Sainz in 5th. Leclerc is 4th. 2 Ferraris. The shocker of the weekend: Oscar Piastri in 3rd. Lando Norris in 2nd. 2 McLarens together, and then of course Max Verstappen in 1st place. But man, this is the second time, Monaco being the other time, where Max is on a lap. And he is in 2nd place, like Lando had put in his lap. They showed in Verstappen's sectors on the bottom, and the middle sector is yellow. So you're like, ain't no way he's pulling off a better time when he's had a slower sector. And then he purples the last sector, and he qualifies fastest.
Dude, my heart was devastated. I felt like Abu Dhabi 21 all over again in that moment because I'm a McLaren fan. And when I saw Lando top the charts again.
Yeah, and they have such a good relationship, so much different than like Lewis and Max had, because afterwards Lando jokes around,
dude.
Like, it was good until Max ruins everything, and they're like they're high-fiving each other. It's such a different vibe to just see. And
Dude,
Max
Lewis
versus
and
anyone
Max came out.
But Lewis, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Lewis came out with Max, and was it Q3 or was fighting each other right then and there, right at the pit lane. They were already angry,
Yeah, it just never ends with them.
which is
Yeah,
I think a lot of fans aren't appreciating.
yeah, we're definitely in a very Jordan-esque. Like we have to appreciate the greatness while we're watching it. Um, but man,
Yeah,
McLaren,
this is like
Pete,
LeBron and Jordan going at each other right now.
yeah,
This is
which is something that never, you know, you never really got to see, and we're getting to witness it. So it's pretty awesome. McLaren though, they're definitely the shocker. Obviously, Lando ran.
yeah, not at
I
all.
didn't expect it at all.
It was
Um,
well, nobody did. I know you had Lando in your top five, but I would have put Lando exactly where you had him, 4 or 5.
yeah,
But that was
and I
insane. I
and I
was so
still thought
happy.
that was I still thought that was being a little nice putting him 4 or 5, but man, was I wrong. Um, all right, man. So we get to the race here. Lights out, away we go, and Lando Norris gets the jump off of Max
I would have.
Verstappen off the line. Max actually wheel spins so bad that Oscar Piastri is side by side heading into turn one
Almost
with
got
them.
him too. Yeah.
Almost got him. Max gets him, and they run about 3 laps with Lando one, Max two, and Oscar three. And I was out of my mind. Like,
I was so happy.
yeah, and like you're kind of outwardly more of a McLaren fan.
Mhm.
I'm really sticking to my Mercedes guns here. But I was like, how do you not be excited for Lando? No matter what fan you are, like you're just like pumped. Oh man, I don't know. It was such a good start. Never would I thought that's how that start of that race was gonna. Alex, you back? What do you got going
Hello?
on?
Can you hear
What
me?
else are you? Yeah, what else are you running
I don't.
over there?
I'm not running anything else, but like I don't know why this Wi-Fi is such a problem. It's usually not.
We gotta get you hardwired.
That's
Start
probably a good idea. Yeah,
start running the
to
Ethernet
hardwire my
cable.
phone.
Start drilling holes. Oh
But
yeah, you are on your phone, aren't you?
I don't know where I. Yeah, I am. Well, the camera's on my phone. Yeah. I don't know where I left off, but like I think it's hard not to root for Lando. Like,
Yeah,
period. He's just such a likable guy. Like
he's
I've
definitely.
had my qualms with him, like how he kind of did like little slight digs at Danny Rick all last season. Because Danny Rick obviously is like probably the most likable guy that ever exists on the planet. But Lando's he's a new Danny Rick, and I think that's why he was shooting. He's firing his shots because he knows it's his time.
Yeah, he's definitely in my opinion, you either like die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Because I think the more
Yeah,
the better he runs, this will change. But you're right. Right now, it's a 1,000%. He's just such a good dude.
dude.
Um,
Silverstone erupted when he
oh,
took P1, and everyone knows in the back of their mind like he's not holding on to this. As soon as DRS is enabled, Max is
yeah.
taking off. But
Yo,
uh,
exactly.
even
You're right.
even when
Everyone
Max
knew
did
it.
pass him though, even when Max did pass him, it wasn't Max wasn't just pulling away. Like he didn't just. I think he sat about like a 2 second gap for most of it, and then he, towards the middle half of the race, he took off. But yeah,
Yeah. You're so right though. Everyone knew he was gonna get passed, but like the crowd still erupted. And he said he was looking at the crowd in the first couple laps, which is crazy to me. Um, our graphic designer said, "I don't think I've ever seen someone so happy they finished second in something." So I just want to elaborate on that because when I first watched Drives to Survive the first season, whatever team they were going after, they would like Haas, I think, and they finished seventh, and like they were so excited. I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, I don't understand why these guys are so excited to finish like in the top 10, like seventh. Like I
yeah,
don't
they're
get
like
it.
popping champagne. They're like
Yeah,
popping the bottle themselves.
but then you watch Formula One and you realize like, all right, Mercedes was in whatever era I watched Formula One. Mercedes was winning every weekend. Now you're in this
Mm-hmm.
era where Red Bull's winning every weekend. So it's like, yeah, you don't want to have that loser's mentality where you're so excited about second, but also it's like you got to be realistic and celebrate the small victories when they come. Um,
Oh yeah,
so I,
especially since this is like a spec series too, where it's not everybody's not designing the same exact car. Everybody has a different design car, and there's a lot of. This is a really talented grid. Obviously, there's some drivers on there that probably don't deserve to be there, but if it was IndyCar, everybody would be fighting for a position, and at that point, you're not celebrating second place because it's your fault. You know what I mean? Like you can only do so much with what you're given. And like a team like McLaren, especially at the beginning of this year, they look like the slowest car on the grid. And now here they are. They arguably might look like the second fastest car on the grid right now, maybe third, but they're fast.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's especially with the different types of cars, like you said. Like if everyone has one car, it's one thing. Everyone's got different cars. That car's just kind of out of their league. So, yeah, seeing people excited for not finishing first, you kind of get used to it in Formula One. But everyone still has a winning mentality, so it's fine. I watched some post race stuff where Max said that he overcooked his tires a little bit trying to pass Lando. So that's why Lando kind of kept that gap on him, and then he extended it out to what it was. I believe it was 9 seconds before the safety car, which we'll talk about. But Lando kind of tucked in second. Oscar tucked in third. They ran a perfect race. They pulled away from Leclerc in fourth, like straight up, no funny business. They pulled away. I like George Russell starting on the soft. I don't know what you thought of that, but I liked it.
I was trying to pay attention to that. Think I don't know who else started on the softs, but
I think
what
he was
I
the
saw
only
there was
one.
a few. Was it the only one? I know there were a few guys running hards, and that was what shocked me more than anything else. I forgot who it was.
I
I
think there
know that they
was.
were towards the back of the grid,
I
but
think
I was
he
like,
was the
that's
only.
crazy.
He was the only soft. I think there was one hard runner, maybe Hulkenberg, and the
I think
rest
it
were
was
all
two.
mediums.
I think it was two. I want to say it might have been Bottas and Hulkenberg.
Okay, yeah, well,
I
Bottas
know it
was
was one
starting
of the
to medium.
Hasses, and it might have been Bottas, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um, but so George starts. George starts sixth, right? Yeah, George starts sixth
Yeah.
on those hards. Gets past Carlos Sainz, stays right on Charles Leclerc. Keeps him honest, stays in his DRS. Man, 28 laps on those softs to start the race has to be a very, very impressive stint. And I think that stint really made everyone else go softs at the end. When some Max said that he might have preferred to be on hards at the end. So
Maybe. I mean, Max is. Can't remember how many laps there were left. I just remember him complaining about like, hey, like his tire's no good or whatever. But he was already like 9 seconds up or something like that, or 8 seconds up. Or something. He solidified the lead. Just bring the car home. You're good.
yeah, he said that he thinks he would have struggled the first couple laps maybe, but then that he would have been able to push harder, and harder. I don't understand how the softs don't last more than 10 laps when George Russell made them last on the first stint with a heavier car for 28 laps. So I think they're just maybe pushing harder where George was in Leclerc's DRS and maybe just easing them in, but um, yeah. So Russell followed Leclerc around for a while. Leclerc pits. Russell stays out for quite a few more laps. Just the two of them. Here, you know what? I actually want to get your opinion on something because something kind of made me mad. When you think of overcut in Formula One, overcut or undercut, right?
Mm-hmm.
I only think of that in like a 1 to 3 lap range. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Be,
I would agree with you.
so George stayed out a few more laps than Leclerc, right?
Yeah,
I think it was like five
yeah,
at least, right?
five. Yeah, like 5 or 6 or so.
So then Leclerc comes out behind. No, Russell comes out behind Leclerc.
Mm-hmm.
They are saying that the overcut didn't work. Now in my mind, I'm like, he didn't. He's coming out on 5+ lap fresher tires. It's not really. That's not really what I think of an overcut. I think of like, oh, the driver in front of me pulled into the pits. I'm maxing out on my lap now to try to get him and pit the next lap. So I don't know. I just think it's funny when the announcers like say the overcut didn't work, and I'm like, this has now become a whole different strategy. It's not like I don't know. Maybe it just irritates me because I don't
I
think
mean,
they're
yeah,
talking about that.
obviously you want to put out you want to be in front of the driver you're trying to overcut, but like you said, it's 5 new fresher tires or 5 laps less fresher tires. It's still got a lot of race left,
Yeah, it's
and
it's like a whole
yeah,
different
I can agree
strategy.
with you. Yeah, it's just a different approach.
Um, but Russell comes out of those pits on those. He had mediums that I think would have lasted him to the end. Ferrari puts on hard on Leclerc, and he passed Leclerc before the safety car. So, um,
Yep.
at that moment, he's pretty much P4 in that race in my mind. I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, he was P4. Wait, before, after passing him, or
He
before
passes Leclerc for
or
fourth on track.
okay, yeah. At that point, yeah, he's four, and then Lewis is third at that time, right?
Yeah, but so
And then,
after
yeah,
that Sites pits, um, again they keep Lewis out for a lot more laps. I think Perez had gotten in Lewis's pit window
pit
and
window, yeah.
Carlos, but
Lewis is in a Lewis, yeah, Lewis is in a dangerous spot for a while.
yeah, but he would have came out with fresh tires. I really think that he would have passed Sites and Perez, or maybe at least. I think it would just really come down to the tires. Also, I heard those guys talking because of when the safety car came out. If that wouldn't have come out,
Because
you know what's
how many laps were left when the safety car came out?
when it came out or when it got going green.
Yeah,
I think
when
it
it
was like
came out originally. So it was like 32, 33.
here I could tell you. When did Lewis Hamilton pit? 33. Yeah,
Okay,
33.
so that puts it at. I mean, like, that's what baffled me. I feel like everybody should have gone sauce off Russell's initial stint to begin with, because
Yeah,
he like you said, 28 laps, heavier fuel load. Why didn't everybody just go sauce there? Like, I know Ferrari decided to pit Charles there for softs afterwards. They pitted him again because he came out with. I'm sorry, they pitted him for mediums, and then the big. I remember you and I when the whole safety car restart, we're texting each other like rapidly, and we're
yeah,
like, dude, like McLaren messed up. McLaren messed up. Like they just ruined everything. They're on hards, and then McLaren decided to shock the world.
yep. Um, I but what I don't get with Ferrari, and I'm glad you walked me into this, is that there's been times where like the weather plays a big deal on how the tires are gonna last. Um,
Mm-hmm.
McLaren has said that like they overheat their tires easily, and that the weather at Silverstone kind of played into their car, cooler temperatures. Hungary last year, Alonso's the first to pit on hard tires. They see it's not really working. The track's cool. Same thing. Either Lewis or George is making like a soft or a medium last longer than they would expect. What do? They put Leclerc on a hard tire. I don't understand why Ferrari. It never seems like they adjust to the weather. They're like, this is my strategy,
Their
and this is
adjustments are
what we'll
just
do.
weird in general. It's like I feel like Ferrari strategy is the strategy you would take if you're a back marker team.
Mm,
Like, okay, we have to do something different because if we copy everybody else, we're not going to make any inroads into do anything. So let's just go for throw balls to the wall. Let's do what we got to do.
yeah,
But
and
like, I don't know.
the safety car hurt them, no doubt.
Yeah, big time, 100%.
But it's not like I still don't think they made like great calls around that. Leclerc said that he didn't mind the tire call, but still, I don't know. I mean, Seitz was out there on
Dude,
an island on that hard tire to end it.
they got to listen to Carlos, man. Because like this guy's like calling strategies he's like, oh, give me this info, give me this info. Okay, let's do this, let's do that, and they just like I don't, they just constantly are just letting these drivers down time and time again. It's getting
Yeah,
ridiculous.
their drivers are better strategists than the actual strategists.
Yeah,
Um, I, but here's what I think. I think the safety car, a safety car comes out on lap 33. One, I think it takes a very long time to get that car off the track. Do you agree?
yeah. I took like forever.
How are
I
we
was
not?
worried they were gonna red. I was
Oh, red
worried
flag
they were
it.
gonna red flag it. To be honest, I was
Oh,
terrified they were gonna red flag it. I'm like, please don't.
that would be rough. I'd love to know other people's opinions, but like, how do we not have a universal system to get these cars off the track faster? I don't know. I just I felt like
I
that
think
kind
it
of
really
took a
depends
while.
on where the car pulled over, and they have to. Obviously, it was hot too. They can't just grab it right away. They probably had to wait for the car to cool off. Um, then they got to get the flatbed out there. It's probably a hassle to like avoid all the cars while everyone's pitting and stuff. And I don't know where the flatbed comes from too. There's a
Yeah,
lot of variables I feel like we don't see.
I think they need to be. I mean, I don't know. I think there just needs to be a better system. Um, yeah, I don't know. But even if you went out with like a trailer, let's say you pick these cars up with a trailer that you could push the car up to. It'd be better than having to bring out the flatbed, and they have to bring out a crane. They brought out a crane to put it on the flatbed.
Yeah, true.
So now, like, I don't know. I
But
just think,
I said it last year where Carlos's car was literally on fire and he had to, and it was rolling backwards.
oh,
Like,
Austria, yeah,
yeah, like situations like that happen, and it's like I don't think
right.
you could really just throw it in the back of a trailer.
Nah, I don't know. I just think it needs to be better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, because once the track goes full safety car, like the track is so big and these drivers are all slowed down. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, there shouldn't be a crane out there in wet weather conditions like Japan last year, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being hypocritical of a job I've never done. If we were out there, we'd be
I
looking
just
like
feel like there's a
fools
lot of
too.
variables we don't see. I think if we could see the whole picture or maybe have a little more knowledge on it, then we can state a proper opinion. But because we're not seeing it or the whole thing and like what's really going on behind the scenes, it's hard to
F
say really.
F1, send us to the send us to the back end of a racetrack. We want to see how your car recovery system works. All right, but this caution comes at lap 33, and it absolutely benefits. Honestly, it kind of
Lewis,
benefits Lewis Hamilton only. Do you know anyone
100%
else who it
yeah.
benefits?
I
Like,
think it might have just been Lewis.
I
Trying to
mean,
think now.
like
Uh,
Max and Lando get like a free pit stop, but they're finishing 1-2 regardless, right? Like we can agree on that.
yeah, probably most likely, yeah. I think it was mainly just Lewis. Where was it? Me might have
Maybe
benefited
Alonso.
Alonso. I was
It might
gonna
have
say
been.
it might have benefited Alonso, but now I don't know by much.
Yeah. Um, and you just kind of felt for poor Oscar. He ran the most perfect race. He comes out
You
on a
couldn't
set of
expect things
he
better.
he comes out on a he has a set of hard tires in front of George Russell on a set of mediums. Who again I thought Russell would have gotten Oscar, and he did not. And this race ends with Max 1, Lando 2, Lewis getting a third place finish, Oscar 4th, George Russell 5th. What did you think of Lando and Lewis's battle? Do you think I thought it was pretty good. I wanted
That
Lewis
was
to get his.
so exciting. I
I
was
wanted.
so excited, dude. Like I remember, when the pit stop happens, and like oh, I'm like, dude, why didn't McLaren throw him on sauce? Why didn't McLaren throw him on sauce? Why didn't McLaren throw him on sauce? And then the first like 2 to 3 laps, it's just straight up excitement out. And Lando got a little cheeky, running into the dust there. But
I definitely don't think he was doing
those
that on
hard tires
purpose.
held up, dude. I can't believe no one said anything about that though. Like
Uh,
I don't think Lewis even made a complaint. Like he shot all that dust up right at him.
yeah, I mean I don't think he was doing it on purpose, but I did see a meme about it. It was like Lando.
I don't know, man. Lando's a little cheeky.
No, he definitely was not running through it on purpose. He took the inside line away down there. There's no way he did that on purpose. No way.
All right. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. So I'm like, homie's out here playing Mario Kart. He just threw the banana down.
You message him on Instagram, see if he did that one on purpose.
Lando. Oh yeah, Lando.
He'll answer.
Lando's definitely gonna respond.
Um, I think young Lewis Hamilton. I say it all the time. I think young Lewis Hamilton would have made that pass. I I don't.
I think that Mercedes straight line speed is just horrible. I don't know what it is because McLaren has the same engine, so they have no excuse to be as slow as they are.
No,
And
it's. Lando said he ran a less downforce package. He picked it out. So
but that
that's
straight
why.
line speed from the Mercedes is just horrible. And then on top of that, like we said before, McLaren burns through their tires pretty quick.
Alex, we're just talking about though. It wasn't the battle into corpse that I thought. I think Lando kind of definitely had the edge on him there. It was the turn.
Oh my bad.
Where's your camera?
Why can't I join? Hello? No one can hear me?
I know we can definitely hear you. Can't see you though. And we lost him. Let's try to get our friend back in here.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Um, no,
I don't know what's going on with it.
it wasn't that turn. He definitely didn't have Lando there. He had him. He's on the outside of him at left field, and I think he needed to make that work a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw a corpse. I'm like, please, Lewis, pull back. Please, Lewis, pull back. And I was like, thank God he didn't create a battle there.
I still don't think that accident was Lewis's fault, but that's just me.
I don't think
Um,
so either. I mean, like, well,
I
Lewis
just
is partially to blame, but like Max didn't. Yeah. Anyways, let's just fucking
Max
move on.
Max shoved him down and then left him no room. There was literally an incident where Lewis was on the inside of someone early on in the race, and the dude went. I don't know if it was Pierre or Fernando, but they just went wide, and it was fine.
Nah, yeah. Anyways, yeah. That rate, I think they're both kind of at fault. If I'm being completely honest, I think they both could have like done something better in that situation. But Max was pushing Lewis around the track the entire race, and it seems like everybody just forgot about that because of the crash. And don't get me wrong,
What?
obviously you don't want
The
Max to get
crash
hurt
was
in the
on lap
situation.
one.
Well, I'm saying the entire lap, like Max is like literally pushing Lewis off track right off the start. Max is literally closing it off, and he's like pushing
Oh
him
yeah,
off the line and everything. The entire like three turns or whatever it was before corpse, and he's literally pushing him off track almost every turn.
yeah, yeah. Um, so that battle was good. Yeah, they were not mad at each other about it. I just wish Lewis. I knew Lewis needed to get it done there, or else he wasn't going to have a shot. Um,
Yeah.
I think one bright side to take away from this weekend for Mercedes, from what I heard post race, Mercedes cars was equally as fast as Red Bull and McLaren up to turn 15, which was the high speed turns of uh,
Mm-hmm.
Maggots and Beckett's. So a couple weeks ago in Canada, Mercedes was saying that that was when Lewis was telling everyone their rear end was so good. Um,
Yeah.
Coming out of the low speed corners, and Lewis kept asking about the low speed corners on radio, and they said he was just as fast, if not the fastest. It's just something to think about. Not a day for Mercedes to hang their hats on, but man, McLaren 2-4. You feel for Oscar. Man, Ferrari. They start 4-5? They end up 9-10. Sergio comes flying in on softs at the end. Fernando. Man, I really wanted to see Albon get Fernando, but what'd you think of Fernando holding off Pierre for like the first 33 laps or whatever that was?
Um, I don't know whether to be disappointed in the Alpine or impressed with Fernando in the situation. I'm not gonna lie to you, because the Alpine seemed to have a rough weekend as a whole.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but
You have
yeah, I mean
any?
Fernando's a solid driver. I'm disappointed in that Aston, man. They really got to step it up. I don't know what happened with those upgrades.
Yeah, I heard they were saying they don't know if the upgrades are causing them to go backwards or everyone else is just jumping forward ahead of them.
Yeah.
But Lance Stroll and Pierre get into it at the end of the race. Do you think anyone's at fault? You think hard driving? What'd you think?
I think Lance Stroll's at fault.
Yeah. Well, FAA agreed with
He
you.
went
He got
off
a five.
track and everything.
Yeah, he got 5 second penalty. So your opinion there is not wrong or alone. Um, Sargent wraps it up in 11th. Bottas 12th place finish, which is kind of strong. I mean 20th place start, so not bad. Nico Hulkenberg with front wing damage finishes 13th. Lance Stroll with his penalty finishes 14th. Joe Guan Yu 15th. Man, these AlphaTauris are not good. Yuki 16th. Nick DeVries 17th. Alpine has a rough day. Pierre DNF in 18th. K-Mag blows up in 19th. And then Esteban Ocon DNF as well. So rough day for Alpine.
Alpine.
I know we got to keep things moving here. There's some stuff I want to talk about. Obviously, because I'm a big Mercedes fan. How funny would it be? And there's still a lot of time left. If they get second in the constructors, but they never really have the second fastest car all season long. They just don't jump up and down like these other teams.
It's definitely possible. I don't. I don't. I mean, all they really have to worry about is the Ferraris right now. I think
Points wise, I
maybe
could go over that real quick if you want.
because like Aston Martin, I know is third, but Aston is like struggling. I can't see Aston wanting to push further. And then McLaren, I think, is too far behind right now, and unless Mercedes gets a bunch of DNFs or scores out of the points, that I don't see happening. It's definitely possible,
Yeah.
but I know Mercedes. The only thing is, I know Mercedes is leaning towards just focusing on next year's car. That's what
Yeah.
it seems like right now because they
I
don't have
just
the money to keep on putting upgrades in this car.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it'd be funny because they started off the season, Ferrari and Aston Martin was faster than them. Then kind of it was Aston Martin and then them, and then it was them 1 week in Spain. But now McLaren has looked faster the past 2 weeks. So like overall, they may never have the second fastest constructor, but they've just kind of been the steadiest.
Consistent.
Yeah, through the year. So points wise, this is stupid. Red Bull has 411 points. Max Verstappen on his own would have more
Yeah,
points
everybody.
in the constructors. Mercedes second with their, I believe, tied with their best point haul of the season, or their no, their second best point haul of the season after Spain, I believe. Um,
Yep.
203 points they have. Aston Martin's in third. They're falling backwards with 181. So they're down 22 points. Ferrari 157. They're staying relatively close to Aston Martin. McLaren makes the big jump up to 59 points in fifth place. Like, I would love to see them if they could score. Like, dude, if they start getting second, thirds, fourths, and Ferrari's finishing behind them, they could put some pressure on these constructors and make it kind of exciting.
There's a lot of. It's only a 10th race. There's still like another half of the season to go, a little bit more. So
Yeah,
they definitely got a chance.
yeah, no, this is the best of the rest. Everyone after Red Bull, it's so exciting in my opinion. Alpine's in sixth with 47 points. Williams is in seventh. Okay, 11 points. They're tied with Haas. That's a big deal. Like, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and I think it's a big deal because I don't know. Like, we'll go to Hungary next. I don't think Haas or Williams are going to score in the points. I just don't. I don't think either one of them will.
I could see a Hulkenberg sneaking in at like a 10th place, maybe. But that's about it.
Maybe. But then the following week, we go to a track like Spa, high
That's
speed
Williams'
track
strength
again.
right there.
What's
If
that?
Sargent can get some point, that's Williams' strength right there.
Yeah.
They got the downforce.
Yep. So I can see Albon and putting that in there. So that's good for them that they're not 10th in points this year. They are tied for seventh. Alfa Romeo 9 points, and then Alfa Tauri 10 points there. We'll go over drivers real quick here. We got to get Alex out of here. Max Verstappen first with 255. Sergio Perez in second with 156. Fernando in third with 137. Lewis is staying tight on his heels in fourth with 121. Carlos in fifth with 83. George Russell makes the jump over Leclerc and tightens up that battle to Carlos. He's in sixth with 82 points. Leclerc's in seventh with 74. Lance Stroll is in eighth with 44. Lando is in ninth with 42. I can see that jumping around and changing real quick, especially if this pace stays like this. Um, Esteban 10th, Oscar 11th. Again, we can see that changing with McLaren's pace. Oscar's already ahead of Pierre, which is pretty crazy because seeing as where McLaren started in Bahrain and kind of where Alpine's been, that's crazy. Albon has all 16th, Yuki 17th, K-Mag 18th, and then Sargent and DeVries with no points in 19th and 20th. You ready to see our picks? How our weekend went?
No, not at all. I don't want to see
Yeah,
him.
well,
I
I
made
know
grave mistakes.
I know you gotta go, but I had myself a good weekend. So let me know when you can see it and it's up on your screen.
No, I still got time. I got like 15 minutes.
Let me know. Let me know.
Jeez Louise. Did
Do
you
you
take
see
the
it?
lead? I'm still in the lead. I don't know how the heck I'm still in the lead. That's crazy. You got so much right here.
All right, so top five was Max, Lando, Lewis, Oscar, and George. Alex picked Sergio to win this race, Carlos to finish second, Charles to finish third, Max fourth, and Lewis fifth. So Alex got 2 points for having Max and Lewis in the top five, but not in the right order. I had Max winning, so I got 5 points for that. I had Sergio second. I get no points for that. I had Lewis finishing third, which is correct, so I get 3 points for that. Lando, I had him finishing fourth, so I get 1 point because he finished in the top five. And then I got George finishing fifth, which is his correct order. So Alex scored 2 on the weekend. I scored 12, which we had a pretty big point gap last week, and I was able to close that in. So I'm only down 6 headed into
I'm
Hungary.
playing the win
So
from now on. This is the
I'm
last. This is my
excited.
charity to you, John.
Listen, I got some good picks next week. I'm ready. I'm
You
excited.
got some good picks.
I do. I do. I'm bringing the heat. So,
Alrighty.
oh man, I love doing our picks. It has to be it has to be the most like intense part because I'm
How
always
was I
I'm
thinking?
I'm
Putting
so we don't have a race on Sunday. So we will our next Monday show we will be prepping for the Hungarian
for
Grand
Hungary.
Prix. And I like obviously I'm picking Max first again. I just am. As you should too.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But my like 2 through 5, like I want to like I wonder what it was like when we were play if we played this game when it was like Hamilton Bottas. Well, I guess Ferrari and Red Bull went at it for a while, but like
hmm
legit with how tight everyone is after Red Bull, like picking a top 5 is pretty tough.
Yeah, I think I'm leaving Checo out of my top five for the rest of the year.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I can't do that.
um.
But man, but start
Well,
picking it up. I
I
had him
actually
winning the damn race, and he just goes out in Q3 or Q1.
I actually wanted to talk to you about Checo because I don't even know if hypotheticals are worth talking, but just maybe spitballing here. Let's say Checo qualifies P2, right? Um,
hmm
and I'm just gonna throw it out there that like after lap 5, it's Max 1, Sergio 2, right? Lando 3, and
hmm
Oscar 4. Um, I think the biggest gap was Max to Lando was at 9 seconds.
Yep.
So let's say Sergio's floating in between them, right? Let's just for fun.
Okay.
So it's Max 4.5 seconds to Sergio, 4.5 seconds to Lando. Like that's still an exciting race. Like Lando's still tight to P2 there, still within like, in my opinion, within 5 seconds. You're not gonna probably undercut, but you can like make a strategy difference that like might make the race exciting. So even Perez coming through the field is kind of exciting for some, but that race still would have been exciting with Perez in second, in my opinion.
Not at
So.
all.
I don't know, but that's all I got. I heard Red Bull's bringing upgrades to Hungary, so we'll talk about that next week, which I don't usually watch. It's only 24 minutes, but it's pretty fun. I learned a lot of stuff, so I'll definitely be watching that from now on because there was good tidbits there.
I heard
And
the Breeze might be losing his seat like sometime this year.
I mean, how do you not? If you need to, you need to put Ricardo in that seat to see if you could turn it around. If it's the team, if it's the drivers, it's what it is.
The
Um,
car is clearly like an absolute failure right now. But yeah,
Ricardo's, I think, in a car probably today. I think.
I think it's
Um,
today. Yeah, I think
yeah.
he's testing at Silverstone, right?
Yep. So this is his first time in the Red Bull, so that should be fun. We'll be able to chat about that next Monday. Schumacher was in the sim till 2 a.m. again. Poor dude, they're working him like a dog, trying to get him, trying to. He's doing everything he can to try. Yeah, I don't
And
know
I
how
like
that.
him too.
I don't know how. Toto's all on
Oh,
board saying,
He's not going to Mercedes. I think the only chance he has in his seat is if Bottas retires. Maybe throw him in the Alpha.
yeah. Well, I don't see Bottas retiring either, so
Nope. Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of
we never know.
SOL. That sucks. I was really rooting for him.
Yeah, with that last name, I think everyone was. McLaren's livery did pretty well. I think they said "screw you," and they did pretty good, Alex, with it.
It's
So
ugly, man. It's so ugly.
Williams rocked a special livery too.
I
It's
liked
pretty cool.
Williams a lot. I thought Williams was pretty cool. I kind of wish they did more. They incorporated the flag color, the red, a little bit more.
Yeah,
But
I thought it was a little bit more pop in the Instagram post, and then when I saw it on track, I was like you said, there's not enough red. It kind of just blended in. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I was looking for something special.
I was sick of people talking about the Ashton library. All they did was add a damn sticker.
All they added was the what?
A sticker. It was one of their sponsors. I forgot what it was.
Oh, hey, can we talk about the fact again that Lance Stroll hit Pierre Gasly and Gasly broke and Lance Stroll's car didn't? My theory that the green car
Dude,
is
I
a
think it's
tank,
a tank.
it lives on. I swear to God.
Keeps on pushing.
Oh my God. They're like, all
That
right,
dude's gotta
Lance.
go, man.
They're,
Lawrence
they're
has
like,
gotta evaluate his son. Like, dude, you need like a 6-year timeout. You're done.
That'd be a
Like,
good seat.
come on, man.
That'd be a good seat for Ricardo.
I'd love to see it. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I want Lewis and Fernando in McLaren to just go at it.
You want them back in McLaren cars?
Yeah, just one
That's
more time. Both on their last hurrah and just killing each other for it.
that's never happening. That's cute
No,
though.
of course it's not going to happen. It's a pipe dream, but I would love to see it. This is
Lan-
because I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying, "Oh, best drivers on the grid," and it's always Max one, two Fernando, three Hamilton. I'm like, one, Lewis beat Fernando
Yep.
his rookie year. He tied him. Like, give this guy some damn credit.
Yeah, Lewis is that guy. Lando said something about in the post-race press conference that it was exciting because he was watching McLaren win races in 07 and 08, and he made a joke with because Lewis was there too. He was like, with Lewis's and Fernando's great teammates, like great. He made that comment right in front of Lewis. It was pretty good. All right, brother. Well, I'll let you get out of here. You gotta do your thing.
Right.
You got a joke?
Yes, sir.
You do?
No.
What? You have one task.
I completely forgot.
You have one task on this show. One.
Listen, I'm gonna be in the machine for like another hour and a half. I'll come up with something.
I ask nothing. I ask nothing of you but to come up with one joke.
Hey! I'm here every Monday at 5:30. All right.
Oh my God!
Missed 1 week, and it was a very, very good excuse.
I'm not calling you out on your missing week at all. I'm just saying you got to bring one joke to the show. One.
All right. I got it. I'll work. All right.
Well, brother, I will see you next Monday. Good luck with your shenanigans tonight.
Yes, sir.
You going in head first?
I don't really know how they're gonna do it, to be honest. Because before, obviously, it was my foot, so I was only like halfway down, but it's my hand. So I'm assuming half my body's gonna be covered. I might be going in head first. I hope not. I hate those things, bro. They take forever.
Can we tell the 7 viewers what you're doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm getting an MRI.
Yeah, he's going in for an MRI. That's what we're talking about, head first. I know, Alex. I didn't think I was claustrophobic until I went into it for my hip, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a little tight."
And you weren't even all the way down, were you? Did you go all the way down?
No, I think I went in. I might have went in head first, with my feet out and for my hip.
Oh, then
You're going in head
first, dude.
You're going in head first.
Miserable, man. I just hate it because you can't move, and I'm so nervous about like not moving. And like
someone told me you can request a bigger machine now. They have bigger ones, but
I have no idea. But
yeah,
I'm not looking forward to this.
Right? They make it so much pressure on you sitting still, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm doing a good job. Like, I don't know how I could sit any more possible still than this, right?
Yeah, but then you think about it. That's the thing with me. Is like you tell me not to do that, and I'm just like, all I want to do is I'm an antsy person too. It's hard for me to sit still.
Yep. For what? I remember, was it like 45, right? Or something? Is it that long?
I don't know how. I think it varies from like depending on the injury and stuff. I'm hoping it's like quick and only like 45 minutes, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, hey, everyone, bring a joke, okay? Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it, Alex. All things racing will be super short today. World of Outlaws only raced on Saturday. Got rained out on Friday. My guy, DG, I think he finished 6th. Lost a few points to Sweet, but that's okay. Man, I'm so pumped. I'm going to Weedsport in a couple weeks to watch him, and then next thing I know, it'll be Knoxville. I'm big on not trying to think too far ahead because I don't want to miss all these summer days, but I'm very excited to go to Knoxville for the week, so that's exciting. Then I watched a NASCAR race last night. Oh, my God. My guy, Ryan Preece, gets up to the front on a strategy call, stays on the front, stays up front. Atlanta, if you haven't watched Atlanta the past couple of years, it's essentially a mini super speedway now with the drafting and their packages. They know rain's coming. Ryan has to pit. He goes back. I say to myself, I'm sitting on the couch, just me. I go, I bet you $5 Ryan's involved in the next wreck. Just because they're 3 wide in the back where Ryan was. Everyone knew the rain was coming. Next thing I know, Ryan's plowing through the field. Him and Brad Keselowski are the top 2 who just came to pit, and they are flying through the field. Ryan works his way up to 15th. He's floating around the top 10. I say to myself, wow, he's out of it. This rain should be coming soon. We're going to get at least a top 15, probably a top 10, and potentially maybe even better. Sure enough, Ryan checks up so he doesn't run over someone else. Someone else runs over Ryan, spins Ryan out. Not a lot of damage, but that caution, the rain came, and the race was over, and I don't even know where Ryan finished. So, man, Ryan Preece was looking good. If it wasn't for no luck, or it wasn't for bad luck, there'd be no luck at all. And I hate that I have to say that about, especially my guy Ryan. So, who won that race? William Byron won. He spun out early on in the race. Pit strategy with that rain kind of made things interesting. I didn't think I liked Atlanta last year. I just wasn't in the mood for another super speedway. I still don't know if I love it, but it was pretty exciting to watch. Everyone's dicing all over the place. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's okay. My reason for disliking it, I think, is very weird. It's just it's a super speedway, so I like watching a race. It might sound silly, but kind of where cars are getting drawn out, you're seeing who can save stuff better. Who can kind of, whose car's faster. This is kind of like a draft and pick your lines right type of track. But, I mean, it's exciting. If any of you guys have questions about Formula One, me and Alex, we're chatting about it and want to get into it, you let me know or him know, and we'll take good care of you. If you want to remind him in the comments or in the chats that I'm catching back up on our prediction picks and I feel good about Hungary in 2 weeks, you let him know that I'm coming and I will get him before the end of the year in our game. So, guys, take care. God bless.